What's going on, y'all? So yet again, I want to come on here and talk about this Brittney Griner situation because at this point, I'm completely fed up with the Biden administration and all of their BS excuses in regards to this situation. And to keep it perfectly honest, I do believe, although I am an independent, that if Trump was in office, that Brittney Griner would have already touched US soil. And if you decide to watch the video in its entirety, I will explain to you why I feel that Trump would have already had Brittney Griner home. Now, there's a few layers that I have to peel back on this onion, but I'm going to start with LeBron James. Now, LeBron James recently came out and he actually spoke out about this situation on an episode of The Shop. I believe it's constructed by his team and things of that nature, and they were talking about this situation. Now, what LeBron said has a lot of people outraged, and most of those people don't have the same hue as I do, and you know, most of the people that watch my videos, right? And so we understand where they're coming from when you talk about America, but at the end of the day, he said what he said. So let me play the clip of what he said.
Brittney Griner, she is in Russia. She's been there
over 110 days. Now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?
Now, just to clarify some things up, I believe at the time of this taping, Brittney had been detained in Russia for 110 days. She's now been detained in Russia for 140 plus days now. Now, once a certain group of people heard what LeBron James had to say about this particular situation, they took to Twitter and they voiced their frustration. This person, Nick Adams, says, LeBron James should join Brittney Griner in a Russian jail cell. Another person by the name of Jesse said, LeBron James says if he were Brittney Griner, he might not even want to return to the US. Maybe he should swap places with her and spend some time in Russian custody. Then a person by the name of Clay Travis said, LeBron James, professional idiot, says he would question ever returning to the United States if he'd been arrested in Russia like Brittney Griner.
Shut the fuck! Shut! Did I say? Oh shit! Say it again. Say something else.
So after that, right, LeBron James decided to take to Twitter to explain his position on the situation, and this is what he said. My comments on The Shop regarding Brittney Griner wasn't knocking our beautiful country. I was simply saying how she's probably feeling emotionally, along with so many other emotions and thoughts, etc. inside that cage she's been in for over 100 plus days. Long story short, hashtag bring her home. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think that LeBron James should have had to explain himself for nothing, right? And just like we used to say in the 90s, I'm not explaining myself for Nathan, right? Because at the end of the day, he feels what he feels. Have a backbone, brother. Stand on what you believe in. Now, this is the thing. LeBron James didn't perfectly articulate himself, and we don't know if he articulated himself well when the episode of this particular conversation airs on The Shop. But at the end of the day, let me expound or let me expand my thoughts in regards to what I feel that LeBron James may have been trying to say. And it goes along the lines of something like this. Maybe he was trying to say that Brittney should feel betrayed by the United States and that Joe Biden, along with other US officials, have not been working diligently to get Brittney back on US soil. And check this out, y'all. It's such a slap in the face to Brittney Griner because Biden had came out along with other US officials and said that Brittney had been wrongfully detained in Russia. Well, if Brittney is wrongfully detained, I would think, right, in my estimation, you would be working harder to get Brittney back to the United States of America. Then on top of that, back on June 20th, Brittney Griner was granted a phone call, right, to, you know, reach back home to talk to her wife. It was their anniversary and she was promised to have this phone call with her wife. She called the US Embassy in Russia about 12 times and nobody picked up, and they blamed it on the fact that they were short-staffed. Now, as a matter of fact, it says here, WNBA star Brittney Griner tried to call her wife nearly a dozen times through the American Embassy in Russia on the couple's 4th anniversary Saturday, but they never connected because the phone line at the embassy was not staffed, Cheryl Griner said on Monday. Cheryl Griner is her wife. Now, I don't know about y'all, right? Because everybody's feelings are different, but I would feel neglected if I was in Brittney Griner's situation. And I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired of people coming out saying, well, Brittney knew the laws in Russia. She did it to herself, especially people that have the same hue as me. You know, you have people out here that's blaming Brittney Griner that have the same hue as me after US officials have deemed that Brittney has been unlawfully detained. But guess what? Those type of people, those individuals don't believe anything unless 45 says it. If 45 comes out and say it, then it's law. As a matter of fact, it says here, we believe the Russian Federation is wrongfully detaining Brittney Griner. NSC spokeswoman Adrienne Watson said Monday, President Biden has been clear about the need to see all U.S. nationals who are held hostage or wrongfully detained abroad released including Brittney Griner, the US government continues to work aggressively using every available means to bring her home. So can we please stop that Brittney brought this on herself? Because we don't know the absolute facts, right? Especially when the US government has come out and said that she was wrongfully detained. Now, she did plead guilty just a few days ago, but sources say that this was a strategic move on the part of Brittney in hopes for a prisoner swap to get her home fast. In fact, it says, but sources told ESPN that the guilty plea was a strategy aimed at facilitating a prisoner swap that could result in Russian detainees returning to their home country. William, an expert on Russian law, previously told ESPN that defendants have little chance of being found innocent at criminal trials in the country. In fact, fewer than 1% of defendants in Russian criminal cases are acquitted. And unlike in US courts, acquittals can be overturned. So again, just because Brittney pleaded guilty doesn't mean that that's factual. She did it for a reason. She's trying to get home, y'all. Now, another interesting thing that I want to point out in regards to this situation is the fact that Macie Gray last week performed on Good Morning America. Well, she had some issues because one of her band members wanted to wear a Free Brittney t-shirt and they wouldn't allow him to wear it on set. I want you guys to check out what Macie Gray had to say, and also the band member, in regards to him not being able to wear that Free Brittney t-shirt.
Not letting your band members wear the Free Brittney Griner shirt.
I'm just praying for her. That really bummed me out today. That really made me sad.
Right. Now, some people are even saying that if Donald Trump were in office, Brittney Griner would have been released already. Do you find that statement to be true, or do you agree with it?
I just hope they do something about it. I hope Biden steps up and brings her home, because that's really heartbreaking.
It is really heartbreaking. You haven't been in contact with her or any teammates at all, have you?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we appreciate your efforts in the shirts.
All right. Thank you.
And you made those yourself,
How did you
right?
know about that?
I'm sorry?
How did you know about that?
Well, your band member walked in and he had the shirt on, and I'm like, who made those shirts? And he said, Macie made these shirts.
Yeah, we wanted to wear them on the show, and then they said no, because I guess something happened.
Right. It's maybe it's too political, you think, or?
I don't think it's political. I think it's a human being that's in a really horrible situation, and there's people that have power to do something about it, and that's what they should do, you know.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you today.
All right, sweetie. Thank you.
So what happened to your Free Brittney Griner shirt?
Well, they made me turn it inside out. They said I couldn't wear it, so I had to turn it inside out. Y'all know what time it is, Free Brittney.
Now, if you guys don't remember, let me refresh your memory, because rapper ASAP Rocky got locked up in Sweden back in 2019 for allegedly putting paws on somebody out there, right? And so when Trump was faced with adversity in trying to get ASAP Rocky home, he gave him an ultimatum. He said, yo, you're gonna send ASAP Rocky back to the US, or I'm gonna hit y'all with some trade restrictions. And the next thing I know, ASAP Rocky was released. And so I say that to say this: I believe that Trump would have been a bit more aggressive in bringing Brittney Griner home. And also, we cannot overlook the fact that he had a good relationship with Putin. And I believe that Brittney Griner would have been home, right? A couple of months ago, if 45 was in office. I'm just keeping it all the way real. I don't think that Biden is being as aggressive as Trump would have, if Trump was still in office. Now, over a week or so ago, and I want to leave you guys with this, I want to read you all the letter that Brittney penned to Biden, asking for him to work diligently to get her back home. And it says, as I sit here in a Russian prison alone with my thoughts and without the protection of my wife, family, and friends, Olympic jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever. On the 4th of July, our family normally honors the service of those who fought for our freedom, including my father, who is a Vietnam War veteran. It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means something completely different to me this year. I realize you are dealing with so much, but please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home. I voted for the first time in 2020 and I voted for you. I believe in you. I still have so much good to do with my freedom that you can help restore. I miss my wife, I miss my family, I miss my teammates. It kills me to know that they are suffering so much right now. I am grateful for whatever you can do at this moment to get me home. All right, so you guys heard that, and quite frankly, I have nothing left to say but free Brittney Griner. That's all, y'all.